And it's a very warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Motive Racing channel for some slightly different content to what you're probably used to. We're here on a Friday night for the Formula One League, which is going to be on a bit later on. Do not despair. Do not think to yourself, hold on a moment, is this pre-season testing? Have we gone back in time? We actually haven't. No, this is in fact the practice session, the final practice session before the Chinese Grand Prix, which is set to kick off tonight at 7:30. Well, the one-shot qualifying will be at 7:30, with the sprint race following that at around 7:35, and then after the sprint race, we'll have the Grand Prix itself, which will be about the Grand Prix qualifying and then the race, which will be about 8 o'clock. So yeah, lots to get excited about here. Lots coming up very, very shortly. I'm just going to double check on the format because obviously I know that last season the sprint qualifying on the F1 game was slightly different from what we actually had in real life. So let me just clarify this very quickly. So yeah, basically for both the sprint race and the Grand Prix, there is a one-shot qualifying session for each one, separate one-shot qualifying session. And then obviously we get underway for each of the races immediately after those one-shot qualifying sessions. But yeah, pretty much we haven't got time, I don't think, tonight to be squeezing in two short qualifyings or even one short qualifying. Obviously with two races, it's going to be a tight schedule here tonight. So we're going to have, as I said, two one-shot qualifying sessions. Each driver gets one lap to show what they can do. We'll obviously pick one driver to ride with on that lap, and then we'll get to the timings at the end of that one shot, and then we'll see who's managed to take pole. But should be very exciting. Should be a nail-biting evening of constant action here tonight, once we get into the actual race itself, or into the races themselves. But for the time being, we're here in the practice session. We've still got a fair way to go until the start of the qualifying sessions. If you're just joining us here tonight, then obviously buckle yourselves in, because there's plenty more exciting action later on. But at this moment in time, it's going to be quite a repetitive sort of just informational chapter of this evening's proceedings. But looks like we've got some long run pace coming in from Senna, Crazy Max and Mike at the moment. These guys are all on the hard tyres. Judging by the pace difference between the soft and the hards, I'm assuming that these guys are doing some long run fuel as well as tyres, because you can see obviously 2.7 seconds separating Random and Senna, which to me seems like Random's chucked some, or rather Senna's chucked some fuel in and is trying to replicate what the car will feel like on that first stint, or indeed, well, the first stint is carrying a full tank of fuel, so half a Grand Prix essentially is what will be in the tank, seeing as the races are 50% here. Although saying that, he could be doing long run testing for the sprint race, which would mean that he'd be carrying 1/6 of a Grand Prix or a third of what we're expecting here for tonight. Because obviously the sprint race is a third of whatever you do in the Grand Prix, so a third of the of one of our Grand Prix is half of a real Grand Prix, which is a sixth of a real Grand Prix. So the sprint race usually takes about 20 minutes, give or take, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less around circuits like Monza and Spa, or Silverstone even, barring any safety cars. But yeah, generally speaking, it's around the 20-minute mark for the sprint race, and then the races themselves, the Grand Prix, around 40 minutes. So overall, we'll have about an hour of actual on-track racing action here tonight, and the one-shot qualies will hopefully take no more than 5 to 10 minutes between them. So should be about an hour and 15 minutes from the moment we get going for the one-shot quali for the sprint to the actual end of the evening. So I reckon it'd be about 8:45. I reckon we should be wrapping up here tonight. So it'd be 7:30 to 8:45 from start to finish. We've got Glenn in the comments saying, "Evening all, welcome along, Glenn." Glenn is one of our racers on ACC, actually, races in the PlayStation 5, or as we now know it, the console GT3 League here at Motive, and I'll be starting up very, very soon. I have been putting it off and delaying it non-stop, and unfortunately it's just because I haven't been in a position to dedicate my time to it like I would like to. But that will be being announced in the next couple of weeks, and a new provisional date. And again, I said mid-October. It's actually going to be start of November. It'll be November 3rd is the date that I've got penciled in for that, and we need to stick to that because we're getting towards the end of the year now. And I said before, we're going to get a season in before the end of the year. We've traditionally done 8 rounds in on ACC per season, so if we start on November 3rd, then we'll be finishing on the 22nd of December. I think I've calculated it. That should be the case, or around that time anyway. It's around that date. Might be a little bit before then, maybe the 18th, I don't know. It's something like that anyway, just before Christmas, which would be ideal for us, obviously. And then starting the next year, we can really get our teeth into some seasons and just be, doing it like we used to. One season that ends, a couple of weeks later, another one starts, and just bosh. That's what I want to be doing. But I just haven't been able to do that as of late. It's been a bit of a I don't really want to go into it, to be honest with you. It's boring. But currently, Random is top of the leaderboard at the moment here in this practice session. The only driver out there doing short quali lap runs here at this moment in time. We got Mike sat in second at the moment, 3 seconds off of that fastest time. We got Senna in third, 3.2 seconds off of the pace. So Mike actually showing better long run pace than Senna is at this moment. But it will be interesting to see what the actual situation is with those fuel tanks, because maybe there could be a discrepancy between what they're carrying. And it also got Glenn saying, I best learn how to race again. Yeah, it can be difficult. I tell you what, I felt in a similar situation to you a couple of weeks ago, to be honest. Learning how to commentate again. It's, I should know by now, but I tell you what, when you take a few months off, it had been 3 months at the time since I'd done any commentating. Hadn't even done it for a laugh or in public lobbies or anything like that, because I used to do public lobby commentaries on Project Cars 2 all the time. But Project Cars 2, we don't even run leagues on it anymore, and to be honest, the guys who I used to play with, I don't really speak to anymore. So basically, I don't really do any recreational sim racing. It's just literally the commentating, running leagues and commentating. So at the moment, it's it's just a bit of a break in the summer, and then now it's back to business again. But good to hear, Glenn. Yeah, we'll definitely be announcing it in the next couple of weeks. As I say, November 3rd is now the deadline. That is the latest we're going to be starting it. It will start on November 3rd, but I've now got that marked out as the date when we'll be getting started. So November 3rd, and it'll be an 8-round season, and it will wrap up on the 22nd of December. So that is now something for everybody. If you want to clip this, hold me to it, and show and play it in court, then you can do. But yeah, that definitely will be the case. Also, I've got other people now relying on me for this as well. I'm not going to go into it, but basically there's a lot more on the line now, so it will be starting up on November 3rd. That is now set in stone. But the official season announcement will be coming in the next couple of weeks. It'll be on SimGrid as it was last time, so we'll have all the realistic, real-life driver names. For those who don't wish to give their real name, you can just select your PlayStation name. You can select any name. You can even select a supposedly real-life name that isn't even your own real name if you want. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, it will just look very nice and professional on the streams, just like the PC version of ACC, just like we had last season. And obviously people will be able to choose their car, so you'll all be pre-selected into a certain vehicle before the start of the race with the entry list that they've got on SimGrid, which I think is absolutely superb, that they've made it so easy for people to use. Really does save me a lot of headaches. You don't need any knowledge of programming or any coding. It's literally really, really simple. And if you do access the files of the coding files, then it's very self-explanatory. You can pretty much figure it out just by looking at the driver entry list. You can look at it and you can just make sense of it. It doesn't take really more than a couple of brain cells to figure it out, which is really great. And I really love that SimGrid have put that together. Currently watching the current championship leader here, Senna, who is third at the moment, but he's got 2 tenths to find if he wants to put himself above Mike, who's currently P2. They're both of these two running a long run pace at the moment, putting a full tank of fuel in, or a heavy tank of fuel, maybe not a full tank, could be sprint race fuel spec, but certainly they've loaded their cars up with a fair bit of juice, and we can see here hard tyres on, so clearly looking to go the distance. But Senna coming down the long back straight towards that heavy braking zone, the hairpin. He slowed the car down from 200 miles an hour down to about 50 miles an hour. Taking a bit of a tight line there. Not really ideal for him. As he now comes into the final corner. Getting it, look at that. He got that absolutely hooked up beautifully there. Did Senna. Over the line he comes. A little bit off of his personal best on that lap. Maybe the tyres starting to wear off a little bit. Obviously the fuel tank will be starting to get a bit lighter, but also the tyres are now going to be just going past the sell-by date a little bit here, which is going to obviously, the two are going to kind of meet in the middle. The tyre wear and the lighter fuel will start to kind of cancel each other out, and you'll find that at certain points in the stint you'll start to get a little bit quicker, and then the pace will drop off again as the tyres drop off that little bit more. You find it's a bit of a back and forth in the middle of the stint, but then towards the end of the stint you'll find that the tyres do start to fully fall off, and that's when your lap times only get worse. Despite the lighter fuel, it doesn't really help past a certain point. But currently Senna, as things stand in this session, is still out there on the track. He's trying to improve and trying to move up ahead of Mike, who is his main rival at this point in this practice session. We can see 3 tenths down nearly on his personal best to the middle sector, so I think this isn't going to be an improvement. I think we're now starting to reach that point where the tyres can't be salvaged, or rather can't salvage any lap time out on the track, despite the fuel tank getting lighter and lighter and the car becoming more nimble. It's the opportunity is gone for you to be able to post that lap. It's quicker than what you've already done earlier in the session. As Senna comes into the hairpin, I tell you what, he did a much better job of hooking up that apex on this lap than he did on the previous lap there. He waited patiently for the right moment to turn in and didn't go too late on the brakes. Wasn't impatient at all. As Senna comes up towards the line, and what is this going to be for him? He slightly better than the previous lap. Actually found over a tenth of a second in the final sector there. So if he could hook up that whole lap, maybe he might be able to sneak into the 134s here. But it would take a nigh on perfect lap here from Senna. But we've seen Mike get into the 134s already. We don't know. A slightly lighter fuel load. Could have been running a more heavy fuel load. We don't know. But Senna here really maximising at the moment, going late on the brakes as he could there. A little lock up we saw on the front right. Now comes through this flat out left-hander. This is a really tricky section here. Double apex left-hander here onto the little back straight. And this can be a bit crucial moment where you can win or lose a bit of time, because you are full throttle here for a good 6 or 7 seconds after that. And he's 2 tenths down now, so he has lost that time again through the middle sector here. That's the most sort of techie part of the track where I think worn out tyres can cost you the most time. This part of the lap, I think that the lighter fuel will certainly start to benefit him now, and there aren't too many technical corners here for the tyres to have to work their way around. So maybe Senna might be able to recover a bit of time in this final sector like he did in that previous lap. Here he comes then into the hairpin again. Didn't quite hook it up with as much confidence on this time around as he did on the previous lap, but nonetheless did an okay job there. Through into the final corner now he comes. Out to the start finish straight again. This is looking like a good lap actually from Senna. And a 35.0 there, so he does improve very, very slightly, but still not enough to get himself into the 134s. But it's definitely the middle sector here where he's losing that time. And as I said before, doing 11 laps on these tyres does start to lose you that little bit of time. But welcome to Formula Football, saying it looks interesting. Yeah, it's currently the practice for the Chinese Grand Prix motive racing here tonight, here on the EA Sports Formula 1 game. Are you a Formula 1 fan? Formula Football? Let us know who your favourite driver is, who's your favourite team. Also, if you're interested in getting involved in sim racing, if you've got the F1 game, then definitely head over to our Discord server. Actually, do you know what? That reminds me, I've got to renew our website subscription because I think our Wix subscription expired a long time ago. That's not ideal. It's not very good from an advertising point of view, is it? Just double check. I'm pretty sure I haven't paid it in a while, unless I happen to have money in the bank at the time, which I don't usually keep money in my current account. I usually store it in my savings for security purposes. But let's have a look. Anyway, let's see. But I highly doubt that the website is going to be up at the moment because I don't remember paying it in quite a while. Yeah, no surprise it isn't up, so I'll have to sort that out after this. Anyway, moving on. Actually, you know what? I might be able to do it now, actually. It's only practice, isn't it? Let's open up Wix. Log in using the Motive Racing Gmail. Right, let's have a look. So, Motive Racing, we want to go back to our old plan. I think it was Core that we had before. Yeah, pretty sure this is the one we had before. Oh, that's expensive. What do I think I am, made of money? I apologise, guys. I am just quickly renewing Motive Racing's or motiveracing.co.uk's website because appear that it has been temporarily revoked. Which is a bit of a bummer. Here we go. Right, I think we're back. Yes, here we go. Right. Here we go. Right, I think we're back. Yes, here we go. Right. Here we go. Right, I think we're back. Are you kidding me? Here we go. Someone's stolen my fucking domain. Are you kidding me? Someone's stolen my fucking domain. Is this a joke? Is this a joke? I'm outraged. Oh, I'm disgusted. You're... Oh, that's a shame. Right, okay. So, new Motive Racing website is motiveracingleague.com. Some cheeky little bastard has gone and stolen my domain. I don't know who did it, but whoever it is, Liam Neeson, I think, sums it up best. Oh, I'm really upset now. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that. I just had to reconnect the Motive Racing website. It seemed like we had briefly been disconnected from our domain, motiveracing.co.uk, but actually we have now reconnected to our old domain. So fear not, we're now where we're supposed to be with this, which is absolutely brilliant. So yeah, motiveracing.co.uk. You can join the server, and if there's any places available. I know most of the time we're full, but if you're a clean and fair driver, then definitely have a look, see what it's about. We've got lots. Also, aside from that, we've got ACC League on Sunday, and Porsche Super Cup, all being well, on a Saturday as well. So yeah, plenty to get involved with, as I say. So if any of that tickles your fancy, then motiveracing.co.uk. Check out the link in the description. That being said, though, it's random setting the pace here for the Formula 1 League here tonight in Shanghai. We've got Mike in second, 6/10 behind him. It would appear that Random has crashed out of the session, so has obviously pushed the limits a little bit beyond what's possible. But I suppose that comes with the territory of being as quick as he has been in this session.